Hey, it's Conor Canina, Irishman Speaks here again, offering you some more tips on adding humour to your presentation, adding relevant humour to your presentation. And remember, the core benefit of adding humour to your presentation is not that you make your audience laugh. The core benefit of adding humour to your presentation is that you're building connection with your audience or with your client by making them laugh. And you're thinking, Conor, you're joking. No, I am not. There is significant research done by organizations like Harvard and Stanford that show that when someone smiles, laughs, or chuckles, neurotransmitters activate in the brain: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, etc. And these are known as the feel-good chemicals. And when a person smiles, laughs, or chuckles, these feel-good chemicals pop open. I kind of refer to them as little small men running around the brain. And because I'm Irish, we'll call them leprechauns. Okay? Yeah, leprechauns. The idea is you put a smile on someone's face, the leprechauns kind of pop up and they say, hey, yabba dabba doo, I'm feeling better, the brain is feeling better. And when that happens, you're building a connection with your audience or with your client. It's not gobbledygook, gang. The core benefit of putting a smile on your client's face, making your audience chuckle or laugh, is that you will build connection with them. You will reduce tension. You will create a better bonding experience, and you can do it. Yeah, I know some of you are saying, Conor, I'm not funny. And you know what I say? You don't have to be funny to be funny. I said you don't have to be funny to be funny. And by that I mean that over the last few days or week, you've probably said something to put a smile on someone's face. You can't remember what it was. What I'm going to encourage you to do is that when you put a smile on someone's face in future, or make them chuckle or laugh, write it down, capture it. The idea is that if it worked once, it might work again. Now, you don't know when you're going to be using it. You don't know where you're going to be using it. But if you do this consistently, you will create a repository of humor and information that you can add in a relevant way to your presentation. And when you add that in a relevant way to your presentation to reinforce your message, what are you doing? You've got the little leprechauns waking up in the audience brain. They're making the audience feel better. They're bonding with you, creating a better connection, building trust and likability. And you know what, gang? I'm sure you've never heard before. People like to do business with people they like and trust. And adding humor to your sales call or to your presentation is a genuinely powerful, realistic way for you to build that connection. So you're probably saying, Conor, let's write it down, capture it. I'm not too sure about that. Let me give you one or two examples here. Just recently, I was back in Ireland. I was talking with my brother-in-law, and he was asking some query, and I told him to Google it on the Bing. Yeah, Google it on the Bing. All right. From my brother-in-law smiled and he said, ha, that's funny. And you know what I said to him? I heard that line from you about 6 or 7 years ago. I thought it was humorous and funny at the time. I wrote it down, and now I regularly use that line in my presentations when I'm speaking about the LAUGH acronym, L-A-U-G-H, and in the G in the LAUGH acronym is for Google, or Google on the Bing, to get some comments or quips or quotes that are a little bit humorous related to your presentation. So that's just one simple example of where I listened and I recorded. Another simple example would be, let's talk about the Googler, okay? Ha, that word normally gets a smile. On one occasion, when I was talking about telling people to Google on the Bing, I then reinforced it by saying, that's what you got to do, gang. You got to get onto the Googler. The audience smiled. There was one or two chuckles, but there was definite smiles. And I thought, hey, there's been a good reaction to that. I'll capture it. I'll write it down. two very simple examples of where I listened, captured and recorded. And you do the same things and you will be able to create those wonderful presentations that will put a smile or a chuckle or a laugh on the audience or the client's face. And when you do that, what are you doing? That's right. The leprechauns in the brain are starting to go pop, 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 yabba dabba doo. People are feeling better. You're creating a connection between you and your client or audience. They're bonding with you. And you know what, gang? People like to do business where they know, like, and trust. So that's it for today from Conor Conneen, Irishman Speaks. I'm off to walk the land again, thinking about adding humour to your presentation. Cheers.
If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you see the details below, you will find a link to 53 humorous quotes and flubs that you can add to any presentation.